My mom hated me and loved my twin sister because she was thin and I was fat. Go to your room. I'm gonna lock you up. Your sister's boyfriend's coming over for the weekend, and we can't let him see you. Yes, he might think that if we're related, I'll become as big as you someday. No, honey. You will always be slim and beautiful. It'll help you get successfully married and rich. And you losers, sit there and don't make a sound. Ugly fat people like you never succeed in life. But Mom, I don't even have water here. And food? You wanted to say food, didn't you? Look at her. Shame on you. We're doing you a favor by locking you in here. Maybe you'll lose some weight in these 2 days. For as long as I can remember, my mother and sister have humiliated me. And only Dad stood up for me. But 3 years ago, he suddenly died. I quickly started gaining weight because of the stress. And since then, my mother and sister started bullying me more and more. I only felt safe in one place. So I decided to go there no matter what. Hi, Daddy. I'm sorry I don't have fresh flowers today, but I drew your favorite lilies of the valley. I hope you like it. I'll sit with you if you don't mind. I have nowhere else to go.
What are you doing here so late, my child?
I came to visit my dad.
It looks like you miss him a lot, since you're not afraid to come to the cemetery at night. Oh, nice drawing. Did you do it?
Mrs. Solomon looked very mysterious. After listening to my story, she suddenly invited me to go to her place. And surprisingly, I agreed. Back then, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. My new friend lived in a small, simple-looking house. But it looked like a museum on the inside. Wow, you have so many pictures here. Was your late husband an artist? Mrs. Solomon looked at me strangely but said nothing. And a few minutes later, she started to scream.
Who are you? What are you doing here? Do you want to rob me?
I was scared and wanted to run away. But the door was locked from the inside, and the key was nowhere to be found. After that, Mrs. Solomon silently went to bed, and I spent the whole night sitting on the floor trembling with fear. In the morning, she showed me something shocking.
These are the contracts of the nurses that the agency sent me. None of them stayed longer than 3 days. I suffer from dementia, and it can be pretty hard to deal with me sometimes. However, I feel like we met for a reason. And I see that you have a great future ahead. If you stay, I'll teach you everything I know.
It must have been foolish of me to believe a sick woman, but I did, and I stayed with her. Mrs. Solomon taught fine arts at the university all of her life, and she saw beauty in everything. even in me. I felt like I had been reborn thanks to her. Was it difficult for me? Certainly. Dementia is a horrible disease. But every day next to Mrs. Solomon was worth it. 10 years after her passing, I dedicated an exhibition of my work to her. I became a world-famous artist. And despite my mother's words that fat people can't achieve anything in life, I was on the list of the richest people in the country last year. As for my sister, she never got married. She lives with our mother in the same old house. And they still believe that external beauty is the most important thing in life. Remember, beautiful people are not always good, but good people are always beautiful.